Nominations for the 2024 Golden Globe Awards were announced Monday morning. And beneath the headlines hyping Barbie and Succession's dominance among the competing works in film and TV, respectively, there's a bit more to unpack about this year, one that marks a new era for a most unusual awards show. The Golden Globes have always been weird. Before a Los Angeles Times expose on its very white, very small and allegedly morally questionable voting body briefly had it fall out of favor. The Golden Globe Awards and the Hollywood Foreign Press Association hosted the quirky kudos best known for their starry, intimate, and incredibly well-timed party. Its place on the awards calendar, particularly in relation to the Oscar race, made it relevant simply for the attention it received. A Golden Globe nomination meant, and still means at least a little momentum for many hopefuls by its sheer proximity to other voting windows, even if the sanctity of the award itself has never been held in the highest regard. Over the past 9 months, the show has endured an unprecedented makeover. The group of international journalists who vote for the Golden Globes grew to 300 individuals in October. The embattled HFPA no longer oversees the ceremony, as the show is now owned by producers Dick Clark Productions, which is owned by Penske Media Eldridge. The joint venture between Penske Media Corporation and Eldridge that also owns The Hollywood Reporter. Come January 7th, the show won't air on its longtime home of NBC, but on CBS, per a new broadcast contract. The Golden Globes, as we knew them, are dead. So, it's natural to wonder how this new iteration departs from the taste of Golden Globes voters past, and, as it seems to be the case, the many more ways in which the two eras appear to be in step. For starters, star power still matters. The old HFPA was well known and occasionally mocked for favoring the more famous performers in the awards race. Remember all the love for Angelina Jolie and Johnny Depp in the universally panned 2010 thriller The Tourist? There may not be any outright egregious examples of such voting behavior among this year's choices, but there are a few that feel a tad reminiscent. Timothée Chalamet and Joaquin Phoenix were nominated for the otherwise ignored Wonka and Beau is Afraid, respectively, while Jennifer Lawrence, a generational talent with an Oscar and 3 Golden Globes to her name, is up for her work in raunch comedy No Hard Feelings, a film that almost no one felt like they'd be seeing at this or any awards show. The new voters also made their play to lure Taylor Swift to the live telecast. Her concert film, The Eras Tour, is up for cinematic and box office achievement. And on that matter, cinematic and box office achievement is as much of a head-scratcher as expected. The Golden Globes announced the addition of 2 new categories this past September: Best Performance in Stand-Up Comedy on Television, a rather straightforward means of injecting a variety award into the night, and the slightly more confusing Cinematic and Box Office Achievement Award. Contenders for the latter had to earn $150 million globally, at least $100 million of it being generated in the US, and, in theory, be good. The first year of nominees gives us the strangest bedfellows of perhaps any category at any show in awards history, ignoring, perhaps, Best Kiss at the VMAs or anything at the Kids' Choice Awards. Dominant film nominees Barbie and Oppenheimer are up against not just Taylor Swift but 2 animated films, the widely lauded Spider-Man, Across the Spider-Verse, and the financially fruitful The Super Mario Bros. Movie, in 3 franchise installments. The latest Guardians of the Galaxy, Mission, Impossible, and John Wick movies. Ignoring an outlier like the Eras Tour, this is just a slightly curated laundry list of the top-grossing films of the year. The most important metric, money, or acclaim, is still not immediately clear, though it would at least seem that the $1.44 billion grossing Barbie is the front-runner either way. Musicals lack momentum. One arena in which the Golden Globes has historically excelled over its contemporaries is in its division of film categories, splitting the film races not just by drama and comedy, but by adding the word musical to those comedy races. That's often meant more love for musicals than at other shows, but there is little evidence of such love this year. The Color Purple, the adaptation of the Broadway show based on Alice Walker's book, was left out of the main race despite widely perceived Oscar momentum and performance nominations for Fantasia Barrino and Danielle Brooks. Wonka was similarly ignored in the main race. If musicals can't move the dial with Globes voters, it really makes you wonder if they'll have any luck elsewhere. Timing remains everything. Just to be perfectly clear, no iteration of the Golden Globes voting body, past nor present, has ever had any overlap or tangible connection to the much larger groups who vote for the Guild shows, the Oscars, the Emmys, or anything else. That said, there's always been power to the Globe's early January roost. A Golden Globe nomination can cement momentum narratives. See the widespread love for Barbie, Oppenheimer, and Killers of the Flower Moon. Bolster projects with smaller awards budgets. 5 nominations for A24's past lives, including directing and screenwriting. Mentions for filmmaker Celine Song is a coup, or, in some instances, insert a previously overlooked performer into the broader awards conversation. This year, that honor goes to Finnish actress Alma Poisti, who scored a very unexpected nomination for Fallen Leaves. TV noms mostly stick to the script. Historically, the HFBA loved to get ahead of the Emmys by being the first to coronate some new series or breakout performance, or by nominating something utterly bizarre, perhaps a show that treated voters to a destination junket. But the 2024 TV nominations are largely business as usual. The final season of Succession came out on top of the tally, as it did with the yet-to-be-aired 2023 Emmy Awards, taking place January 15th. The main comedy race is a duplicative, if abbreviated, rundown of the recent Emmy nominations, while drama offers some variety. Taylor Sheridan's Yellowstone-verse entry 1923 is in the mix, as is Netflix's The Diplomat. The third season of The Morning Show, which was not eligible for the recent Emmys race, also joins the pack.